Welcome to Purpose of Heart, the podcast, where real stories meet God's promises. I'm Priscilla Allman, and every week we dive into powerful conversations about purpose in the pressure through caregiving, illness, grief, addiction, and more. If you've ever asked, God, where are you in this? You're in the right place. Be sure to follow the show, and let's find purpose together. Hello, and welcome to Purpose of Heart, the podcast. I'm your host, Priscilla Allman, and today we're going to talk about where our strength truly comes from, especially in those seasons where you feel tired, stretched thin, or just plain worn out. Isaiah chapter 41, verses 10 through 13 says, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. Yes, I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." These words aren't just beautiful poetry, they're a promise. They tell us what and that when we reach the end of our strength, that we haven't reached the end of God's. So if you've been weary, if you've been anxious or wondering how much longer you can hold on, this message is for you. Let's lean in and let God remind your heart of what his strength really means. Let's be honest. There are moments where being strong feels impossible. You wake up and before your feet even hit the floor, your mind's already racing. You're trying to juggle responsibilities, think about absolutely everything you need to do, hold everyone and everything together, and somehow still stay grounded. And in those moments, it's so easy to think, God, I just don't have it in me today. And sometimes that's the absolute truth. And more than we even realize, because we're not self-sufficient as much as we think we are. Especially in those moments, those are when we are to lean into him for his strength. And what's beautiful is God never asked you to manufacture it. He asked you to receive his strength. Isaiah 41:10 doesn't say find your own strength. It doesn't say try X and Y new thing. It says, I will strengthen you. It's not a suggestion. It's a declaration. Sometimes we think that strength looks like never falling apart. But God's definition is different. His strength often shows up when we admit that we can't do it alone. 2 Corinthians 12:9 says, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my strength is made perfect in weakness." So maybe it's time we continuously reframe what we can't do, and that our weakness is not necessarily proof of failure, but a doorway to God's power. Going back to Isaiah, notice how the passage begins. Fear not, for I am with you. Before God promises his strength, he promises presence. Because sometimes what your soul needs more than instant relief is reassurance. The reminder that you are not alone. He says, be not dismayed, for I am your God. That's personal. It's relational. It's not just I am God. I am your God. Think about that. The creator of the universe claims you. You belong to me. When you walk through uncertainty, when you face the unknown, you don't do it solo. You do it with the one who created all things and holds it all together. I don't know if you guys remember that song that we used to sing in Sunday school back in the day. He's got the whole world in his hands. So often we forget even just the little songs that we learned when we were younger. But it's good to remind ourselves that he's got the whole world in his hands. He's got you. And then he says, I will uphold you with my righteous right hand, representing power, authority, and protection. Right? He's saying, you will not fall out of my grasp. Let's picture this for a moment. Imagine a parent holding a child's hand while crossing the street. The child's hand may slip, right? But the parent's grip stays firm. That's what Isaiah 41:13 describes. For I, the Lord your God, will hold your right hand, saying to you, fear not, I will help you. Isn't that beautiful? He doesn't just strengthen you from a distance. He holds your hand through the process. There's a difference in being carried by life and being held by God. When life carries you, it kind of tosses you around a little bit. When God holds you, he steadies you. Nevertheless, I am continuously with you. You hold me by my right hand. Psalm 73:23. That means in every season, the joyful, the confusing, the exhausting, his hand doesn't let go. Even when your prayers are quiet sighs, even when your faith feels fragile, even when your heart aches, he's still holding you. That's strength, not in striving, but in surrender. How do we live from God's strength instead of our own? Here are some ways that we can start. Start your mornings with dependence and not pressure. One of the ways that we can do that is through prayer. Before checking your phone, your calendar, all the things, simply surrender. Thank him for his goodness through the night and ask him for strength for the day. Reframe weakness as opportunity. Instead of when hitting a wall, like thinking that you're failing, think about that this is where God's strength begins. Fill your space with his word. Post Isaiah 41 somewhere visible, somewhere that you'll see it. Maybe it's on your mirror, your fridge, or on your phone wallpaper. And let his promise interrupt your worry. Rest intentionally. Rest isn't laziness. It says, God, I trust you to sustain me. Friends, strength is never about never feeling weak. It's about learning where to go when you are. Your strength is not in how tightly you hold everything together. Your strength is in who holds you. If you're weary today, hear God's words afresh. Fear not, for I am with you. I will strengthen you. I will uphold you. You're not forgotten. You're not forsaken. You are being held securely, faithfully, and lovingly in his righteous right hand. You are strong. not because you never stumble or in your own strength, but because the hand that holds yours never slips. Keep walking with purpose. Keep walking with heart. And remember, your strength doesn't come from what's in you. It comes from the one who's beside you. That's all for today, friends. I'll see you next time. Thanks for listening to Purpose of Heart, the podcast at www.purposeofheartpodcast.com. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. There's so much more God is doing, and I don't want you to miss a thing. Thank you in advance for the reviews and shares. They help this message reach more hearts. I can't wait to walk with you again in next week's episode. See you there.